Millions of young consumers believe splitting small purchases into 4 easy payments is a genius financial hack. You confidently use these 0% interest services to perfectly manage your monthly discretionary cash flow. This buy now, pay later system is actually a ruthless psychological trap designed to normalize extreme debt. We must completely expose the mathematical destruction hiding behind these incredibly convenient digital checkout payment buttons. The fundamental illusion is believing that avoiding traditional interest charges automatically makes a transaction financially responsible. Silicon Valley engineers designed these exact payment structures to permanently destroy your biological delayed gratification mechanism. Splitting a $100 transaction mathematically tricks your brain into registering only a tiny, insignificant expense. This frictionless digital illusion guarantees that you will instinctively load your shopping cart with significantly more items. Internal corporate data proves that consumers utilizing these deferred payment platforms consistently increase their total spending volume. You must ask yourself why massive global retailers happily pay huge premium fees to offer these services. Retailers willingly sacrifice 5% of their revenue because they know you will buy totally unnecessary garbage. The merchant easily recovers the platform fee by aggressively artificially inflating the average customer digital order value. You are not intelligently managing your cash flow when you purchase depreciating consumer liabilities on credit. You are literally mortgaging your future biological labor to acquire cheap, temporary dopamine hits today. Modern consumer culture intentionally engineers a perpetual, deep psychological inadequacy inside your human brain. They aggressively program you to believe that purchasing new material items will fix your internal personal unhappiness. This creates an endless biological loop of seeking temporary chemical validation through destructive digital retail therapy. The buy now, pay later system acts as the ultimate frictionless accelerant for this toxic biological loop. It completely removes the final natural barrier between your temporary emotional distress and absolute personal financial ruin. You are systematically being trained to medicate your personal emotional anxiety with dangerous retail consumer debt contracts. Furthermore, consumers rarely utilize just one single deferred payment application for their daily consumer lifestyle purchases. They aggressively stack multiple overlapping payment schedules across several different financial tech platforms simultaneously every single month. This dangerous behavioral stacking creates a chaotic psychological matrix of micropayments throughout the entire month. It becomes biologically impossible for your brain to accurately track your true remaining monthly liquid operating capital. You eventually experience a massive, cascading liquidity crisis when multiple platform payments perfectly align together at once. These financial tech companies loudly advertise that they do not perform traditional hard credit bureau background checks. This specific marketing tactic intentionally creates a dangerous false sense of absolute macroeconomic financial safety for consumers. However, the absolute truth is that a single missed payment is immediately reported to major credit bureaus. A missed $20 payment can permanently destroy your ability to secure a traditional residential mortgage later. You are risking your future ability to acquire appreciating residential real estate simply to finance cheap, fast fashion clothing. You are also completely ignoring the massive hidden data harvesting operation running quietly in the digital background. These financial applications meticulously track your specific behavioral spending patterns and biological impulse triggers continuously every day. They immediately sell your highly personal psychological purchasing data to aggressive global marketing corporations for massive profits. You are fundamentally allowing them to build a perfectly accurate digital weapon to mathematically manipulate you further. Furthermore, Wall Street actively packages these dangerous microloans into massive, complex financial investment products for billionaires. They transform your terrible consumer debt habits into highly profitable institutional investment vehicles for the global financial elite. The mainstream financial media continuously manipulates the broader public regarding the true fundamental definition of strategic debt. They desperately want you to confuse toxic consumer financing with elite strategic macroeconomic leverage used by investors. Strategic debt is explicitly utilized to acquire appreciating assets that mathematically generate massive, passive monthly cash flow ultimately. However, utilizing digital debt to finance a depreciating designer jacket is absolute mathematical financial suicide for you. True wealth requires fundamentally understanding the critical difference between acquiring capital assets and consuming useless retail liabilities. The buy now, pay later matrix completely obliterates this crucial macroeconomic distinction permanently inside your own mind. It mathematically tricks you into treating toxic retail consumption as if it were a smart, strategic financial decision. Even if you mathematically manage to perfectly execute all payments without triggering predatory late financial penalty fees, you have still committed the ultimate macroeconomic sin of destroying your personal capital velocity for the entire month. That specific monetary capital is permanently trapped in a rapidly depreciating, useless physical consumer lifestyle liability forever. The global financial elite never utilized deferred micropayments to acquire their everyday simple consumer lifestyle goods. They would have aggressively deployed that exact same capital into a cash flowing, asymmetric digital business asset. Every single dollar trapped in a digital payment plan is a dollar permanently stolen from your future financial freedom. Normalizing digital debt for simple daily expenses permanently traps you in a brutal middle class consumption lifestyle cycle. A missing payment immediately triggers predatory late fees that completely destroy the initial 0% interest mathematical illusion. Once you miss a payment, you are violently dragged back into the traditional high interest banking debt matrix. You must forcefully reject this dangerous modern financial trend and completely rebuild your psychological spending defense mechanisms immediately. The ultimate financial detox requires completely reintroducing extreme psychological friction back into your daily discretionary retail spending habits. You must immediately implement a mandatory 48-hour biological cooling period for every single discretionary lifestyle purchase. This mandatory waiting period allows your brain to flush out the artificially manufactured marketing dopamine completely before buying. If you still actually need the physical item 2 days later, you must purchase it with actual liquid cash. 90% of the time, you will realize the initial intense biological urge has completely vanished from your mind. This simple tactical delay mechanism mathematically prevents thousands of dollars from evaporating silently into the global retail matrix. You must also redirect that exact saved capital directly into an automated strategic financial asset acquisition digital system. Every single dollar saved from avoiding stupid consumer debt must immediately buy a piece of your absolute future financial freedom. If you cannot immediately purchase a consumer liability with physical cash, you absolutely cannot afford it right now. You must immediately delete these predatory payment applications from your mobile device to actively protect your future generational wealth. Refusing to finance your daily lifestyle is the ultimate prerequisite for building true macroeconomic power in this modern economy. Your daily financial decisions are actively programming the psychological baseline for your entire future family tree and descendants. Normalizing extreme micro debt today guarantees your descendants will remain permanently trapped in the middle class consumption matrix forever. You have a profound moral obligation to break this toxic consumer cycle before it completely destroys your future lineage. You must systematically master the exact psychological defense mechanisms required to protect your macroeconomic financial future, starting right now.